We're ready. Do you want to? There we go.
We're live.
Oh, we're live.
There we go.
There's the camera.
Woohoo, woohoo.
All right. Now we're good. Now we're good. We're learning. We got the back block.
Yeah,
so the
light.
sunlight's not.
So there's not a halo
Yeah.
above us,
So
although we deserve halos.
Oh, of course we deserve halos. It's the holiday season. It's already kicked off.
Yes. Santa, I have a halo.
I have a halo.
I've been a good girl.
Hello.
Hi, welcome. I'm Debbie, and I own the shop here at Dances with Wool in Sycamore Square, just outside of Richmond. And we want to welcome you to today's This Is So Not a Podcast.
Yes, and my name is Erin, and I'm the store manager. So as always, we want to remind people that you can come shop our beautiful, still fairly new to us. You know, we only moved here in August, so still fairly new to us. We are in a new expanded space. If you have come to us, see us before, but it's been a while. We are on the other side of the shopping center in a newly expanded space at 1358 Sycamore Square. And you can also shop us online. We have a website. We do flat rate shipping. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, everywhere. We are Dances with Wool RVA for Richmond, Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to know if this is your first time watching and you want to know why what is clearly a video podcast is called This Is So Not a Podcast, you can go back to our first episode where we tell you the whole story.
Yeah, that's quite a story. But we are on episode 19. Hard to believe.
I know. Well, it's been almost 2 years.
I know.
Since I talked you into doing this.
I know. This was born out of COVID. So, we're still hanging in there, though.
Yeah.
So what have you been up to? Anything since the last month, or?
You mean other than working here?
I know.
No, it's good. It's been busy, which is good. You know, we've been busy settling into the new shop and planning the holiday season for you all. And we'll talk a little bit about that here soon. But you got back from Iceland.
I did. Went to Iceland. If you remember the last podcast, I told you I was going. I was on the Fire and Ice tour with Craft Tours and Tanis Gray. And so we spent 9 days in Iceland. It was beyond belief. It was emotional. It was spiritual. It was just trip of a lifetime. And just so many things that you just can't put into words. And just an amazing trip. So I'll talk a little bit more about that when I talk about the project that it was our tour project. Tanis actually she created a project for us, a sweater, an Icelandic sweater, which I'll talk about in a few minutes because it is on my needles. But it just went live on Ravelry like a couple days ago. So now that the trips are over, so you can actually take, but it was wonderful. So it was amazing, great. I mean, what else, any superlative you can throw at it. It was just life-changing though, really.
Good.
So, just what the doctor ordered, and I know you worked hard. Gosh, I know she held down the fort. And when I'm away, I know. And when I'm away, it's like, do not email Debbie.
No,
do not.
No, we are very, very firm about that. We do not contact. We do not text you. We do not email you.
Yeah. So I'm down in the down times. I'm kind of checking email or looking to see if there's anything I need to be working on or need to be doing, and there's nothing.
That's right.
So we get
back on vacation.
So I got back from the trip, and it was like, so
we had a couple of misadventures while you were gone, but everything is fine.
But they held down the fort. They do great.
Fine.
I can't say enough good things about the staff here at Dances. I mean, they're just they're wonderful. Yeah. No big deal. And not like she didn't have other things to do. Erin's over spinning and weaving, and we're just getting that off the ground. So it's like all this initial planning work and ordering inventory and getting things set up with that, and then she's got to carry the burden sometimes of everything else that's going on with the retail space with the other things. So
that's fine. We have a good crew.
We do. We have an amazing crew, but she's had, bless her heart. So I want to say on the camera that I thank you for everything you do, because we couldn't do it without you. But so it's been it's been a good month for me. Yeah,
it's been good.
So I guess we'll start with what we're wearing today.
I think we're both wearing oldie but goodies.
Yes.
Today. It's cold here in Central Virginia, which is awesome because yeah, as makers, we long for this cold weather. It stayed really warm for a really long time this fall. So I'm excited to see cold. I am wearing the Rowe cardigan by Michelle Wang. It is a very heavily cabled pieced garment. This is probably the warmest thing that I own. But this was our 2020 year-long knit-along.
Yes, because last year was the pie shawl.
Yes,
you're right.
So this was 2020. So if you're not familiar with our year-long knit-alongs, we have a topic that we pick every year, and then we pick a large project that ordinarily on your own you might look at it and be like, I really want to make that, but I find it a little intimidating. I don't have all those skills. And so we walk you through the project. We've evolved with the year-long knit-along over the years. It is now video-based. All the teaching is done via Teachable platform, which we're hoping to get more videos up on here as we get into the winter. But that is how it's done. So it's all broken down for you step by step. You have your little homework assignments between each video as you learn new skills and new techniques. We don't make it overwhelming. You don't have to put aside all your other projects and only focus on this for a whole year. We break it down into bite-sized chunks for you. And at the end, you not only have a project that you can be really super proud of, but you've gained a whole bunch of new skills, not just in the topic, but other like tools and tips that you can put in your knitter's toolbox. So we are wrapping up this year's year-long knit-along. The last videos will go live in a couple of weeks. And then we will announce next year. So I am already deep in planning for next year's knit-along.
We'll announce it in December.
Yep, we'll announce it, and then we'll start. Signups will start beginning of January.
And then we actually get started
usually somewhere into February, beginning of March. We might start a little earlier this year because we have more ground to cover than we normally do. This is going to be a very ambitious one.
Yes, but it's going to be so much fun.
It's going to be great.
And we have a very strict criteria of what we use to decide what our year-long knit-along is. And number 1 or 2 at the very top is it has to be teaching you some more advanced skills, things that you can kind of take with you to other garments, and like Erin said, things you may not have tried before, but these are advanced skills. You might not have to come into the project having these skills, but when you leave the project, you're going to have them. For example, this one was a pieced garment. A lot of people shy away from pieced garments. So not only did you learn the cabling in this,
but we set in sleeves.
We set the sleeves in. We learned how to do all of the blocking very, very exact, and and how to put it together, and little tools to use to make that job a little bit easier. So, and picking up this is all picked up on the front here.
Yes. And it's actually doubled. So you knit and then tack down on the inside. A really cool method for tacking it down on the inside.
Yeah, very good skills that you learn. So if, like Erin basically said, if when you see everything that's involved in your garments or your pieces at the beginning goes, this is the stuff we will cover. And you go, oh my gosh, I can't do that. Like this year was brioche. And some people are going, I've never done brioche before. And Erin was like, well, that's the point.
That's the point. We're going to teach you how. And then whenever you see any pattern that involves brioche, you're like, I can do that.
And we've been seeing some beautiful projects come out of this year already. So, so that's the whole point of this. So if you've always wondered, and you don't have to be here locally to do it. Because of the platform
because everything is on video classes, and our question and answer sessions that we do are hybrid events. So you can either come to the store in person or you can be on Zoom. You don't have to.
Yeah. And next year, we're going to even take it a step further. We're going to have a private Facebook group so that there's a sense of more of a sense of community with the people involved, that they can talk to each other, ask questions. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So when you see the announcement, don't shy away from it.
That's right. And don't automatically go, well, I can't do that. No. We're going to walk you through.
We walk you through everything. Yeah. So mine is.
What are you wearing?
One I did.
This is still one of my favorite things I think you've ever made.
I love it. It's the Ninilchik. I call it the Ninilchik poncho. It is on Ravelry. It's
Swoncho. Ninilchik Swoncho by Caitlin Hunter.
It wears like a t-shirt. So I can just throw it on, you know.
Because there's a lot of positive ease.
Mhm.
It's kind of like a poncho with sleeves.
Yeah. I love it. I did this 4 or 5 years ago. I fell in love with Amy's yarn, as everyone does, the Vulpine, when we brought in the DK. And this is all Little Fox yarns in the Vulpine.
Yeah.
And so I love it. It's just cozy. It's comfortable. It's, you know, like I said, okay, at my age, I don't want anything that's, you know, hugging me too tight. You know, I want this, you know, I want the free and breezy and, you know, throw it on. So, yeah. Anyway, I love it, and I wear it quite a bit when the weather turns. So, yeah. So this is the Ninilchik by Caitlin Hunter, done in Little Fox Vulpine, which we carry here at the store.
DK weight
It's a DK
yarn.
weight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's good.
Okay.
Well, what else have you finished?
So
What have you finished lately?
what have I finished lately?
Because you finished a long time ago. What have you finished recently?
Yes, recently. Oh God, do you have to go? Because I can't.
Oh,
find
I'll
my
go.
Touriga
Sure.
hat.
I'll go. So I have sitting behind
Yes.
me on the mannequin, and I will pull it off the mannequin and bring it close to the counter. So this is a slightly modified version of a pattern called the Darn Knit Kinetic Cowl by Carly Stripe. It's a free pattern on Ravelry, but I use some of my hand spun, and a lot of the coils ended up on the inside of this. I need to pop them out here.
You know, you can strangle those.
Yeah, well, these were yarn overs.
Oh,
so
okay.
that's why
they're coming through.
They're coming through. But this was Kim Dye's Yarn, a Fiber Color of the Month club from last month. This is called Golden Hour, and I did it as a chunky single ply that then I thread plied, and I put some coils in and spiral plied it. This is a merino silk, so it feels really, really.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and you can actually see.
That's where I tied the thread ply on to hold it in
Okay.
place. But yep, so I paired it with some Malabrigo Rasta and just did this really fun, funky cowl.
I had to fly off.
Hands. Oh yeah, well yeah, because you use like a size 19 needle. It's huge. So I mean, obviously we do not have hand spun like this in the shop, but if you are looking for a quick gift knit, you can just use 2 colors of Malabrigo Rasta and make this size 19 needles. But yeah, so if you go back on our Instagram, I have a reel that walks you through the process. I show you how I spun the whole thing from braid to finished object. So this was really fast. I just really loved this color when it came in from Kim.
To spin it into.
I'm not good enough with art yarn yet to get there, but we'll get there.
Oh my God, she can do it one time and be an expert.
I need to take some more classes myself.
But it is so. Yeah. Let me put it up closer to the camera so you can really see the knots. I guess that's for lack of a
like little spirals.
It is so pretty.
Yeah. So that is the Darn Kinetic Cowl. And so it's just a big, fun, funky. I wore this at the winery event, which we didn't talk about the winery event.
Not yet.
We'll talk about that.
Because that could be a segue into
Okay, yeah. So we went to James River Cellars Winery, had their 2nd annual yarn ball event this past Saturday. We were a vendor. It's an outdoor event at the winery. It was fun, but it was so cold. I mean, I know I just got done talking about, I'm so happy it's winter time because, we love, oh my gosh, out there for like 8 hours, though, it got really cold. So I wore this, which was nice. It did keep me.
As long as we were in the sun, we were wearing our knits and perfectly fine. And then the sun
started to go down.
And it was like, oh. Yeah.
I
had the knits. I was wearing like 4 layers. Two of them were knits.
We learned last year. We brought multiple layers of knits and things. But then your finished was something you made for the event.
Made for it, yeah. Now, I've got to tell you, this went in, probably I did this in 2 nights. I mean, it wasn't hard. We've got the pattern right there.
Okay.
So, is it the pattern?
Yep.
So this is the Touriga hat. This is named after some wine that is bottled at James River Cellars Winery. Jenny Truitt is the designer. She actually works there at the winery, and she made this to wear at the winery on those cooler days. And then she put it out, and some of us who were vendors there made it last year, and then I made mine this year.
It's a free pattern on Ravelry.
Isn't it cute? It's got, I don't know, it's really cute. It's got the leaves, the grape leaves. It's got the grapes hanging up at the top. You can kind of see the grapes. Let me hold it back because you can see.
Yeah.
And then the wine glasses. So lots of fun. You can top it with the palm if you want. Very easy. Charts are easy to read, but she also has it written if you don't want to do it as a chart. But very fun. I had mine on Saturday, but we have kits in the shop.
We have some kits in the shop. 2 colors of wool stock by Blue Sky Fibers.
And you have quite a bit left over too.
A 50 gram, each of each color. And so, yes, we have some kits if you want some, but you can pick any 2 colors of wool stock.
Right.
And then the pattern is free. But if you want to look at our recommended kind of color combos, we've got those up.
There was a really pretty one that had the kind of the maroon, the wine colored with gray. And that was, I liked that one too.
Yeah.
You definitely want more contrast.
Yes.
So that your grapes and your
wine inspired motifs pop.
All pop. So you do definitely want to do that.
Yeah.
But that's the only thing I have finished.
That's okay. That's all right. I only finished that because it was size 19 needles.
Y'all, I have got serious cast on itis, and I'm casting on all the things, which is of course taking time away from the things that you already have on the needles.
That's all right.
So
because you're the boss of your knitting.
That's what someone told me that, and I'm not sure how I feel about that, but I mean, because I sometimes
say it
feel
all
like
the time. You're the boss of your making. Don't let anybody make you feel bad for casting something on or not casting something on or whatever, or changing the pattern because you don't like it that way. You are the boss of your making.
Oh yeah. So I'm missing one of my
You're missing one of your
so anyway,
right. But yeah,
I'm missing my float. I thought I brought
you shared that before,
but I have shared it before. So look at my bag. Oh my God.
We have some of those. Some of those came back with us, didn't they? I can't remember.
Yes, we have more of the yarn keepers in the shop, but I had to have this weekend. I mean, I saw it and I was like, this is so me. Give me coffee to change the things I can and wine to accept the things I can't. I love it. I love it.
I know.
So she had those at the winery. Oh, here it is. Here's my float. So this is how far I've gotten on my float so far. My assigned pooling. I just have.
You flip backwards. That's backwards.
Oh,
that's
okay. Sorry.
Flip it.
Flip it.
Flip
There
it.
we go.
There we go.
So almost finished with this, and then I have the border to do.
Yep.
So
yeah, we've talked about this a couple of times. Assigned pooling, a third of the skein is dyed a separate color, and you work the background and something like stockinette stitch. And then when you come to the pops of color, you do a little motif. Dawn Barker has a whole bunch of assigned pooling patterns on Ravelry. Shawls, hats, sweaters, all kinds of things that you can use.
And I have a secret for you.
What's that?
Jeff and I have talked about doing one as a special colorway for Rich Hill Yarns of assigned pooling.
Well,
so
stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Because Rich Hill is our exclusive in-house dyed yarn that we have. So.
All right.
Awesome. And what else do you have to show today?
This is all right. So Stratified caught my eye. This is Tif Neilan's Stratified done
from the Worsted book by
Ray
Amy
Worsted.
Gillet.
And it caught my eye during her trunk show. And I started it last time, but
look how far you've come.
I almost, this color here, I have about 17 rows of that to do. And then that's the last color before actually
the ribbing.
Doing the little border and then the ribbing.
Oh, so you're flying.
I'm flying through this. And I think the reason I'm flying through this is it is on fairly large. I think I'm on a size 8 or 9. And yeah, it's just, you kind of feel like it gets broken up with the color.
Right, because you're like, ooh, I'm going to work on this so I can get to the next color. Anytime you have stripes or anything like that, it helps.
It's a well-written pattern.
Obviously,
there are
Tif
Neilan, I know,
patterns.
she's becoming one of my favorite designers. Shawls and sweaters. I mean, check her out. She's amazing. But it comes in 2 different versions. You can do the crop version or you can do the regular length version. Mine will be somewhere in between. I probably will do a longer ribbed hem. Twisted. It's twisted rib, so it'll be really nice. So I'll probably do a little bit longer one just to have it a little bit longer than cropped. I want cropped. I liked cropped. I don't want it to be a full sweater that comes down below my hips, but I kind of want a sweet spot in there that I like. I usually do 13 inches from underarm to where I start the rib, I guess. But I think I'm going to go 14 just to do a little, just a little bit longer. Yeah. So that is that. And then this is
got your Iceland,
my
right?
Iceland sweater. So this is by Tanis Gray. This is called the Westfjords Pullover. This is what it's going to look like. She designed
this just dropped.
It just dropped a couple days ago.
That's really pretty.
We were given it ahead of the trip because this was the one that was designed for the trip. It has, you can't see it all in the color work, but it's got the volcanoes in it. It's got the snowflakes in it. So she put in characteristics of the Fire and Ice tour. One of the things that she stayed very true to Iceland traditions when designing the sweater. And one thing we learned when we were there is there are actually more sheep than people in Iceland. And it's a country of just over 300,000 people. So it is not a huge, very largely populated
It's not
country.
heavily populated. No.
And there's more sheep. Like I said, the sheep were brought over from the Vikings, and their DNA has been relatively unchanged to today. So these sheep that produce this fleece that is water resistant and very warm for that particular climate, still you get the same wool today as you were getting when the Vikings brought those sheep over.
They're a dual coated breed. And usually they mix the 2 fibers together to do the Lopi yarn.
So the Lopi yarn is considered their Icelandic yarn. This is what you find if you go over there. You find sweaters everywhere, and they're all in the same tradition. You find cardigans, you find these pullovers, but they're all knit the same way. And they're all with this Icelandic Lopi yarns, whether with different weights and things. We toured the factory. That was fascinating. But this Lopi yarn is the yarn that's used in their knits over there because of its characteristics and their climate. So I've decided, rather than the pullover, that I really wanted more of a cardigan. The reason is, if you feel this, and this is going to bloom like crazy. If you feel this, it's heavy. So it's going to be too heavy here for Virginia for me to wear as a pullover. So what I did is I have, of course,
you've added a steek.
I've added a steek panel, which you will see right here. Now my steek panel is, I do the number of stitches that the sweater requires, and then I add 7 stitches basically at the end of the round before starting the next round. And that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be cutting up. This was a year-long knit-along trick that we did.
And if you're watching this going, gosh, steeking sounds interesting, I'd love to have more information.
You will.
You're going to want to pay attention when we announce next year's year-long knit-along.
Yeah. So anyway, I've decided to use it as a cardigan. I think if
You'll
I
get
have
more
it
wear
as
out
a
of it.
cardigan, I will get more wear out of it. And I will, I mean, it'll be worn as an outer garment as opposed to being worn as an interior, or as against my skin garment.
Right.
Because the wool is so warm. It's not something that I would wear next to my skin, but I would wear a shirt under it.
Yeah, the micron count is not there because Icelandic sheep they're interesting. They're considered dual coated, but they don't really, the undercoat doesn't separate out from the rest of the wool the way other dual coated breeds do. So when they mill the yarn, they mix those outer guard hairs together with the soft. It all gets blended together. So it's not baby butt soft by any stretch of the imagination.
No, but it's
pretty rustic.
But boy, is it a nice yarn to knit with.
And it's warm.
And in the true Icelandic knitting tradition, it is knit from the bottom up. I right now it's stopped. I've gotten to the desired length. I will be knitting the 2 sleeves on magic loop 2 at a time sleeves. I'll get the sleeves done, and then you join the sleeves to the garment, and then the color work will be the last thing I do before the steeking.
Yep.
It's got a rolled collar, but I probably will not roll it since I'm wearing it as an outer garment and steeking it. I probably am just going to
add
have
a little bit of ribbing on top.
Yeah, I'll just add a little bit.
Or we could do a applied I-cord. That might look nice.
I probably could do that. Yeah,
that might look nice once you steek it.
Yeah.
Apply an I-cord to it.
Yeah.
Because you could do if you don't want buttons. Are you gonna want buttons?
I'm not putting buttons.
If you're not putting buttons, you could apply an I-cord up the whole and go around the back and go the whole way down the other side.
That's a good idea, actually.
If you're gonna wear it open anyway.
Because I am the boss of my knitting.
Because you are the boss of your making and you can do what you want to do.
So those are my works in progress. So hopefully you are going to be seeing me wear Stratified next month and modeling for you my Westfjords sweater.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
So go.
So what am I working on? Well, in the last podcast, I said the words came out of my mouth that I don't need to cast anything else on, and I'm not going to do that. I'm the boss of my making. Don't at me. I cast something new on, and that's just what I did. So, and of course, my bowl of yarn just rolled away. I have wanted to make this pattern for a few years, and I decided this is the year to do it. This is Julgran by Andi Satterlund, and it is a reverse stockinette with a tree on the front, which you can either leave plain or you can kitsch it up and put all kinds of little baubles on it to make it a Christmas tree, which is of course what I'm going to do, because why knit a Christmas tree and not
if you're not
put baubles on it?
Yeah.
So here we are.
Look how pretty.
My tree is done. I've got a few more rows and then I will put the ribbing on. This is intended to be a cropped garment. And because I'm the boss of my knitting, I am making it a vest.
What a great idea.
I'm not going to put sleeves on it. I'm going to make it a vest. I'm going to do some applied I-cord edging around the armholes. And I'm still on the fence about the neckline. The pattern has you do a funnel neck. So you pick up and knit a funnel neck, double it over after you're done. I don't know. I'm going to try it on once I get the sleeves. I get it blocked and I get the I-cord edging on the armholes. I will try it on and decide what to do. If I want to just do ribbing at the neckline or
at that tree.
Yeah. And this is not blocked. So this is, come here because you fell on the floor. Hudson and Westfjords.
I love it.
Which is, this is so nice to knit with.
It is the best yarn to
knit.
It is
so nice to knit with. It is, Forge is a Merino Corriedale blend, all U.S. grown fibers.
And talk about bloom.
And it blooms like crazy. And this is just going to be fabulous. And so I've got that. And I've got some mixed Swarovski crystals that I'm going to sew on as my baubles because I'm extra. Like that.
And when we say bloom, guys, it's just so that you know, when you apply water to this and wet block it,
the stitches individually will puff. The fibers puff
and they puff and
as they dry.
Oh my gosh!
And they fill in, which is why we tell you if you're going to knit a garment, you need to knit a swatch and block your swatch. That's why we tell you that. We're not trying to be mean. We tell you that because there's nothing worse than having your whole finished object be done and then you throw it in water and then it does something that you're not expecting it to. It blooms more than you think it's going to, or it doesn't, it stretches out or what have you. That's why we tell you to block. I'm not a fan of blocking,
but I understand the importance of it. And yes, they are being mean when they tell me to block.
So I'm not. Well, no, what I technically tell people is you don't have to if you don't want to, but then if your garment doesn't turn out the way you want it to, that was a decision you made.
Yeah.
Yep. So anyway, so it's almost done. So it's just going to be a cute little layering piece for Christmas. And I'll be done with this probably in another week or two, I would imagine. It's size 8 needles.
It goes fast.
I cast this on last week.
Yeah.
It goes really, really fast.
Have fun.
So yeah.
Have fun.
So I've got that going. And then the other thing I have going is also a new cast on, but it's a Christmas gift. So again, don't at me. I know I said I wasn't going to cast anything new on.
I
but
did your picture of that too.
This is a Christmas gift. So this is an oldie but a goodie. This is a really classic free pattern on Ravelry. This is called Bankhead. It's a fabulous hat, especially, I mean, it's a great unisex hat, but I think this is a really nice men's hat. And I am knitting this for a gentleman for Christmas. So I've got, the ribbing is almost done. It's twisted rib, which I have a love-hate relationship with. I love the way it looks. I hate knitting twisted rib.
No, I don't mind it at all. I like it.
I can't stand it. So I am using Trine by Spin Cycle Yarns. This is the new yarn that debuted just a couple weeks ago. And this is really, it's very, very pleasant to work with. So I'm enjoying this. It's worsted weight on size 7 needles. So it's going to go, again, this will go pretty quick. I'll have this done in another week or so. But let's talk about Trine for a second. So Trine is the new yarn from Spin Cycle Yarns. It is the same fiber content, the same weight, the same yardage as Dream State, which you are probably already familiar with. So this is the worsted weight version of the Spin Cycle Yarns that you know and love. So Trine is also worsted weight. Now, let's talk about what makes them different, right? So in the Spin Cycle Yarns, what you have going on, they're both 3-ply yarns, okay? In Spin Cycle, what they've done is they have, in the Dream State, they have dyed their wool, their roving, before they run it through the machines at the mill to spin it into yarn in multicolors, and then they've plied it. And the way that they have plied those different color roving, multicolor rovings together creates this kind of color shift. All right, you're familiar with that with Spin Cycle Yarn, with Dream State, and Dyed the Wool, which is the sport weight version. So you're familiar with that, right? As you work it, the colors kind of shift. They don't stripe, but they kind of have this shiftingness. And that has to do with the way the multicolored roving is spun and plied together. Trine, on the other hand, is also a 3-ply yarn. But what they've done here is each of these 3 plies is a different color roving, a solid color roving. So this is a marl. Okay, this is not going to shift. It's going to stay the same color, this color consistently throughout your project. You're not going to get, but you're going to get this marl effect. So if you've ever held multiple colors of yarn together, multiple solid colors together in a project, you get this marl effect. That's what Trine is. Okay, so if you like Spin Cycle, but the unpredictability of the skein kind of, you know, in Dream State and Dyed in the Wool makes you a little nervous. You're not quite sure how it's gonna, you know, how those color shifts are gonna play in your project. Trine, you can always substitute Trine for anything that's been written for Dream State, and you're gonna get a more consistent look the whole way through. Or you can put Trine and Dream State together and get some really, really fun effects.
Now,
all right,
just if looking at this, if it were me and I was planning a sweater of color work, and there were like 3 or 4 colors in the color work, and I decided, like I have before, to do my color work all in Dream State because of the color shift. So I'm going to get different colors throughout. I would use Dream State,
right? Just
because that color work is like 3 or 4 different colors, and I do want to get that color
multicolor
shifting
effect. It's a cheat way. It's a cheater. It's a cheat. It's a way to cheat in your color work. But if you don't want that, if you want stripes, or if you want more of a solid effect, or heck, you want to do, like I said, I'm doing a whole hat in just this,
but
to
you
give
don't
it
want
this
color shifting.
So it's a way to get a multicolor or some depth of color in your project without having to resort to, say, a variegated yarn, which again is going to be unpredictable, right? Just because it's pretty in the skein, when you cast on your gauge and your stitch count, sometimes you get weird pooling that happens. Trine is a way to get some depth of color and some kind of multicolor look into a project, but in a predictable way.
Yeah. So
It's
think
that
about-
same wonderful squishy,
It is. It's
beautiful
really nice.
stuff to work with, just like the Dream State and the Dyed in the Wool. It's just a slightly more controlled way of using that yarn.
And the price point on this, it's always been a pricey yarn because of the way that it's manufactured and made. But for a hat, one skein, correct?
Right, exactly. One skein.
So, it's a great thing to think about. Like Erin's doing a hat with it. She'll get one skein. It'll be, she'll get it in one skein.
Yep.
That's a way to look at it, and a great way, if you love this yarn, a great way to use it, but feel like, I'm not.
Or just like with
spending
Dream
a bunch of
State,
money.
if you want to use this as the color work,
Colorway.
if you're doing like a yoke where it's just one color, you know what I mean? This is a way to add some interest without having to have multiple, so you could pair this with a solid and it would end up being really pretty.
Yeah.
Yep.
So multiple ways to use it.
So that's trying. So it's working up really nice. It's really nice.
It's going to be beautiful.
Yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be a really nice men's hat.
Yes, so we will be doing this again in December. So hopefully,
it'll be
thing to show.
It'll be done
to show us so we can see.
It'll be done.
So I will just tell you, casting on next. I have bought so much yarn, y'all. It is not funny. I had a daggone yarn shop.
It is funny, but we can't carry everything.
No,
and this is something we run into. People they come in to show us stuff, and they're like, "Oh, but I didn't buy the yarn from you." We can't physically. We don't buy yarn. We buy yarn. We go on trips and we buy yarn.
I don't even buy the yarn from me sometimes.
We can't carry everything,
gosh,
and we understand that. We're never gonna get upset with you if you want to come in and show us something that you're working on. That I love this yarn.
And between two trips to New England,
you went on a cruise to New England and then
bought back a ton of yarn,
and then you went to Iceland
with ideas, and then went to Iceland and bought back yarn brought back the yarn with ideas. So I have got so much to cast on. You'll just hear about it as I do it, because I can't even tell you what's going to be next on the needles right now. But you do have a plan.
Well, yes, because December is coming. So
I'm not doing a thing. Is that not bad?
No,
I'm not doing.
Well, I'm not knitting gift. I'm not doing. I mean, I'm knitting one gift for one person. It's a hat. I don't make gifts for people. I had a bad Christmas experience about 6 or 7 years ago where I decided way too late in the game that I was going to knit everybody something for Christmas, and I have never done that again.
Well, I had made a sweater towards the middle of the year, and I had decided it's just got a little bit more negative ease than I like. I like sweaters with a lot of positive ease. So I think I'm gifting that to one of my daughters, because it is a nice sweater.
There you go.
I just know I won't wear it a lot.
You just won't wear it. So perfect.
So that is one gift.
See, so you did. But anyway, December is coming, and I have all kinds of Advent projects. So this I bought this year from Woolen and Nosh. They had their Advent kits on sale, I think back in April, I think is when I bought this. But theirs is really cool. So this is for their self-striping. Woolen and Nosh does all kinds of things, but they specialize in self-striping sock yarn. So this is their Advent set for this year. And the way it works is in this little bag, there are 2 identical cakes, already caked, self-striping yarns with 24 different stripe colors in each ball. And there's this little thing is just poking out. This is barely poking out the ends, right? So I have no idea what the stripe cuts, what it looks like. It's all hidden in the bag. And then they sent a mini skein that this little purple color that's sticking out, there's a 1 row stripe of this between each of the 24 colors, so that as you knit it, if you want to be totally surprised, you're just pulling it out of the bag. And when you get to this again, to stop. Because that was your stripe for the day. And then so they give you the menu to do your toes and heels in. And this cute little stitch marker came with it too.
How cute.
But anyway, so each day I will knit, and I don't do my socks 2 at a time. I could. It's all been set up for that. I just don't like that methodology. It's just not my favorite. So I do tandem socks. So I'll have 2 sets of needles, and I'll have each sock cast
Okay,
on
that
a
makes
separate. And
sense.
so I'll knit the stripe on one and I'll knit the stripe on the other. So I
Yeah.
will probably here in the next couple of days, I'll get this wound up. I'll knit my tom-dum toe up. I'll knit my toes for each sock. So that's all ready to go on December 1st. I will cast that.
What a brilliant
Cast that on.
deal with having the little.
Yeah, so you can, it's
yarn.
all hidden. You don't get to see what it looks like. And you just pull it out of the bag.
I love it. Because I'm doing a sock advent for the first time.
Yeah.
Now, you know me in socks. I have one of the pairs of socks all over the place, but never the second pair. But I am going to do them 2 at a time this year. But I have one that's coming. It's not here yet. No, it did come. I left it in the bag. It's sitting over to the side. But yes, but I don't know what color it is. I haven't opened them yet. But they're individual little pieces. It's not a continuous.
Right. Yeah. Little minis. Yeah.
Little minis.
Yeah. So that's exciting. That's that. And I will probably crack and do the gnome.
You should crack and do the gnome.
I will probably crack. I've done it the last 2 years. So Sarah Shearer's gnome Minilon, Mystery Minilon for December is coming. We have some kits. I realized we didn't grab any to show you, but we do have some kits from Emma's Yarn. It is 5 colors this year for the December Ninilchik gnome. It's great. Every day in December you get a pattern update and you get an update on Ravelry. Sometimes it's the next section of the pattern. Sometimes there's a little story. She writes a story for the gnome every year
because it's an adventure.
So there's the little gnome goes on a story. So sometimes it's a piece of the story. Sometimes it's a recipe. She always does a couple recipes. That's really fun. So we have kits from Emma's Yarn. There's still plenty of time to get your kit. And be ready to cast on December 1st. And the folks at Emma's have seen the finished gnome. So they have their colors in their kits numbered color 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it takes the guesswork out of trying to decide, well, what color is going to be color number 1 and what's going to be color number 2. If you buy one of the Emma's kits, all that's done for you. You just cast on. If it says use color 1, you pull color 1 out of your kit and use color 1 on day 1.
And the best way to see the colors is to go on our website, danceswithwoolrva.com.
We'll link that. Yeah, we'll link it in the, if you go in the shop, but we'll link everything in the comments below the video once we're no longer live. So you can find everything.
Go on the website, it's under kits and you can see all the color combinations. We're happy to ship them. You have
just enough time. If you bought one, if you buy it today, tomorrow, next couple of days, because we do priority mail, there'll be just enough time to get to you till you'll be ready to go December 1st.
Yep. But go ahead and download the pattern.
Yes, you can go ahead and purchase the pattern and download that.
You'll see, she'll send you out some pre start date information.
Yep.
So you might as well, go ahead and do that. But look at our kits. There's some really beautiful colors.
I know. Some really
nice
sets.
Cute gnomes out there.
Yes, there are.
It's cute gnomes. All right. So I guess that's all that we had on the needles or thinking about on the needles. Hopefully we gave you some inspiration with all that we have been working on. But classes, let's talk about classes.
Yes, winter quarter classes are up. People, signups are already happening. Spots are already being snagged, but we offer classes in knitting, crochet, weaving, spinning, dyeing, just about every fiber art you can imagine. Our winter quarter is a short quarter for us because we don't start new classes in December because there's enough happening in December.
People do not want to start a class.
We don't need to be starting classes. So our winter quarter covers January and February. So those classes are up right now on the website. We will link the classes page for you. But we encourage you to take a look at those. You can learn a new skill. You can up your skills in a craft you already do. But we've got a lot of great classes on the schedule for you for the winter quarter. So go ahead. Like I said, people, they've been up for a week now and spots are already being snagged left and right. So if there is something that you are considering, we strongly encourage you to go ahead and sign up to pay to get your spot.
Yeah, we do have wait lists for a lot of our classes, but we have a very strong attendance rate here.
We don't get many cancellations. So if there's something you really want to do, we encourage you get signed up.
I would not take your
sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
Yep.
I would not take your chance on a wait list. All right. So the next one we have in store is a sample alert here. This is Amalies Sweater by Astrid Trollen. Back here, let me pull it up a little bit more.
This is such a cute sweater.
It is. Let me see if I can adjust the camera so you can see that just a little bit better.
There you go.
Yeah. So this is so cute. Cute over this little blouse that we have it styled with. This was done in Forge by Hudson and West, which we have already talked about today as being one of our favorite sweater yarns and worsted weight. This is done with 2 colors. So this one was done in charcoal, and this other color here, ash. Now, you need 400 grams of the main color and 200 grams of the contrast.
Well, depending on
color.
your size.
Depending on, well, that was most sizes.
Most sizes, okay.
So, yes. So it was done in Hudson and West Forge. It feels amazing. But look at that. Isn't that so cute? Oh, just nice design. Really, really cute contemporary design and cute on under a white blouse. So yes, come in and take a look at that. And we do have yarn from Forge in different colors that would be beautiful.
But we also have Fennec.
Yeah,
We have a little bit of Corey worsted. It'd be great. The Blue Sky, wool stock. They make some big skeins, bigger hanks of that. That would be great for that. So I know I'm looking around realizing there were a couple of things we forgot.
Yeah, that's okay. Go on to
grab. So Emma's yarn. So color of the month clubs. We've got a couple different dyers who do exclusive colorways of the month for local yarn stores. Emma's yarn. This is November. So this is a really pretty kind of neutral base with some blue and gold and a little bit of like rusty pinky color. Speckles, so kind of like fallen leaves. Really, really pretty color. And we get the Emma's yarn of the month, color of the month in on their Hella Hanks, which is, these are big, these are 150 gram skeins. So there's 600 yards of fingering weight yarn on this, and it's a merino cashmere nylon blend. So these are really, really nice.
And very popular here because,
very popular.
You know, when you think about you're doing a shawl or you're even doing a sweater, you know, there's 150 grams here. So you don't have the, you know, multiple ends with your yarns that you have to worry about.
2 of them will do a sweater for a lot of people. So this is a good, so as always, the color of the month, once it's gone, it's gone. We can't reorder. So that's November's color from Emma's. The other dyer that we get a LYS exclusive color of the month from is Kim Dye's yarn. Now we track a little behind on Kim's, like we haven't gotten the November yarn color of the month yet.
Coming, right?
It's coming.
Yeah.
It'll be here this week, I think. But this is October. So Kim does 2 colors that typically coordinate, not always, but they do typically coordinate. So this is Golden Hour. So this was the color of the fiber that I did for my cowl. The fiber, unfortunately, is all gone from October. That sold out. This is Hunter. This color is really complex. It's kind of green, but you see it's got some of the browns and golds in it as well. So this is a beautiful color combination.
Great color combination. She does a color combination. I mean, it's just
most of the months they do coordinate. So this is on her. So we get it in on her sourdough sock base, which is 400 yards of 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. So that is October. We'll have November here soon. I do have November in the fiber, however. So this will be one of the colors that's coming. So the fiber of the month this month is 60% Polwarth, 40% silk. And this color is called Heart Corners. So these are 4-ounce braids. And again, we only get a few of them in, and when they are gone, they are gone. So that's really pretty. I always like it when you can see, like you can kind of see the silk blended into the fiber.
Yep.
So those are that. We've got all that in.
You got the smaller day.
I forgot to grab one.
I'll go grab it because that one's.
Yes, so we want to see. So we do have Pom Pom Quarterly is in. Of course, we carry that. Lana, the newest issue of Lana magazine, will be here soon. We put our order in for that not that long ago. So that is coming. While Debbie is grabbing the Smalladay calendar, I want to talk about a new come here product. that is in the shop. So this is exciting for us. Our newest staff member, Chris, has a candle company called Ursidae Candle Company, but we have some new candles in from Chris. We have some Christmassy wintry sets. So these are all locally made here by one of our staff members. So these are nice. We've got Once Upon a Hearth. We've got Midwinter Kiss and Gingerbread Them. So these are some fun holiday scents. And then what Chris has done for us, this is really great. So we have got 2 exclusive scents in these cute little tins, so slightly smaller candles. But these are exclusive candle scents for us that will be here in the shop. So we've got Knitter's Corner and Crochet Nook. So these would be fabulous stocking stuffer gifts if you have people who shop for you for the holidays, or you have your fiber, your knitting, crochet besties. This would be a fabulous little gift for them. The Crochet Nook one in particular smells like coffee, and it really smells like coffee. It's awesome. But these are all fun gifts. We have a lot of gift ideas in the shop, and more is coming. So we're actually going to do a special gift guide video here coming up in another week or 2. But that is all in. Did you grab the Smolidays? Do you want to talk about that real quick? We still have a few of these, guys. If you need an advent for December, a countdown calendar, there are 24 mini skeins. Each one is individually wrapped, and they are all numbered. So this is number 2, right? The color of the tissue paper has nothing to do with the color that is wrapped up in the wrapped up there. All right, so it's not necessarily a rainbow. We don't know what the colors are. These are all new colors from Emma's, and there is a little card attached with a few pattern ideas, both knit and crochet, and it comes all packaged up in this cute drawstring bag. I've got the top folded down so you can see inside of it, but this cute drawstring bag. These are $200. They are available to go right now. If you buy this, it will ship directly to you, or you can come in tomorrow when the shop is open and pick this up. All right. So we've got a handful of these left. If you still need a countdown calendar, an advent calendar for December.
And it comes in this cute little project bag, which is a drawstring project bag. And so to keep your project in. And what's so cool is... And
there's also a Lavisher lotion bar. A full-size lotion bar is also in here in a really fun wintry scent.
So nice. These have been popular, but we do have a few left over. And people have been coming in to get them for as gifts.
So there is still a little bit of time to get this to you before December 1st. Pom-pom I talked about. We have pom-pom. Lana is coming soon, but we always have the current issue of... Look at this. I know. Look at this on the back.
This is just what's caught our eye.
Yeah. Very graphic. This is called Horizon is the theme for this pom-pom. And a lot of there's some great unisex patterns in here, which is that there's well, I don't want to, there's a lot of the pattern. There's a lot of the pattern.
But you can see the pattern right there.
So a lot of great, really graphic designs. And like I said, there's a lot of really fun
look at the sweater
unisex patterns, which is always really neat to see.
What I love about pom-pom, their designs are really modern, and
I love this. Look at this, kind of a grandpa cardigan, but not, because it's got like a scallop.
Definitely modernized.
Yeah, very, very cool. So that is in the shop. Look at these socks. These socks are so sweet. So so that's in the shop.
And we do have our holiday bundles.
Alert!
And our winter frost bundles.
Alert! They're in stock. They will not stay in stock.
And when they're
gone, they're gone.
We're not getting any more. And it's not our choice. I mean, we would love to get more, but they're gone. When they're gone,
they're gone. That's it. So
our frost bundle. I mean, our
holiday frost.
Isn't that pretty? Our fall bundles flew.
Yes.
I mean, they were like,
these are
they're in. And
super popular. So these are wool stock There are 21 little 5-gram mini skeins of Blue Sky Fibers wool stock, which is their worsted weight, fine Highland wool. There's 21, like I said, little 5-gram minis in here. It's a total of 252 yards if it's use every single mini. And because they're Blue Sky,
there's
tons
great pattern support.
of fabulous pattern support. There are a whole bunch of free patterns. Whole bunch of free patterns available on the website. Some of them, like the Merry and Bright hat or the little mini hats, only use the bundle. All you need is the bundle to make the pattern. Others, like the Alpine hat, require that's not it. You gotta forge. Require the bundle plus a 40-gram or 50-gram skein of wool stock. So some of them you need both.
This one over here is using the
Some of them you just need the bundle, but there's hats, there's cowls, there's little mini things to make little decorations. These are so much fun. There's so much you can do with just these little bits of worsted weight yarn, all these colors. And like Debbie said, these will go, and when they're gone, they're gone. Unfortunately, we cannot restock. So,
and we did have a bunch of people who bought them last year and who did not use them all the colors. And so they're buying new bundles, putting some colors that they had last year together with them. There was one, the National Parks book that had all the hats from the national parks. Use a lot of mini skeins for their hats.
Right, because you just need a little bit. So that's what they're perfect for, is when you just need
for that.
A little bit of color. You don't want to buy a whole skein. The bundles are great for that.
These are 21 bundles, but you get 3 of one color. So that's about 60 yards of, I think it's like 60, or are they 12 yards a piece? They are 12 yards a piece.
12 yards a piece.
So, yeah.
So you get about 36 yards.
So, which is good for like a stripe on a hat, or, so they're great. So, like I said, when they're gone, they're gone.
We just don't want anybody to be caught off guard. Yep.
And so we have some new sock yarns in stock. We love West Yorkshire spinners, and it is a favorite here in the shop.
It's probably. Did you mean to grab non-holiday colors?
I grabbed everything that was new.
These aren't new. We've had things. These 2 colors are not new. It's okay. They come in non-holiday colors too. But what everybody waits for every year are the holiday
ones here. Aren't they cute?
Colors, and including, this is the new one this year. This is called Gingerbread. So this is the 2022 self-striping colorway from West Yorkshire Spinners. But these are, I think there might be one more over there too. Holly Berry, I don't think is here. But anyway, we have all of the Christmas holiday colors from West Yorkshire Spinners. We have other non-holiday colors too. But one ball will make a pair of socks. So these are fun. They're great, of course, knit. But remember that if you are looking at these going, I'd love to make socks for a whole bunch of people on my list, but I don't have time to knit all these socks. Remember that we have a sock cranking service here at the shop. So you can purchase your skein of your ball of sock yarn and have Barbara crank you tubes. And then all you have to do is put the toes and heels in. That's what these are. Barbara crank the tubes, and then just the toes and heels. She can actually do, or the cuffs, but she can do the cuffs for you if you want. And then all you have to do is add toes and heels. So that's be a great way to get some Christmas socks banged out real quick for yourself or as a gift.
Yeah. Very popular. Yep. These won't last long either.
No. And again, the thing with that is once it's gone, it's gone. We can't restock easily because we have to import it directly from England.
And Spinners in England.
And at this point, I'm not sure we could get another box in.
Not before Christmas.
Not before Christmas, certainly.
All right. So that's a lot of our new stock that we have. Yes. So just want to remind you of some of the things that are coming up in the shop. We have very limited hours this week because of our holiday. So tomorrow we are open 11 to 5.
9 to 5 because we're open early for our Stitch
Tuesday.
Tomorrow's Tuesday. So
9 to 5. And then Wednesday we're open until 2 o'clock, 11
to 2. So we're closing early.
So that our staff wants to get home and work on Thanksgiving. And so we don't want to keep them till 5. But also we need to get ready for Black Friday.
It's coming.
It is coming. So Black Friday, we are closed Friday. Our brick
The
and
brick and
mortar
mortar is closed on Friday.
And so we are going to be a 4-hour online event only, 30% off of everything you can think of in the store except consignment items and our
or classes or gift cards.
And classes.
Consignment stuff won't be on the website on Friday. We will take it down so that you don't have to worry because you have a code. Black Friday 30 is the code. All right. And this will be all over social media. It was in our newsletter that went out this morning. If you don't get our weekly email newsletters, you can sign up for that on the website. It will be on the top of the website when you log in on Friday morning.
Don't forget to use your code, because if you do forget to use your code, we cannot go back and retroactively credit you that money.
No.
So,
but you will get 30% off your whole purchase with the code Black Friday 30. The only things on the website that it won't work on will be classes and gift cards, but everything else for 4 hours, 8 a.m. It will start working promptly at 8 a.m. and it will stop working promptly at noon, but you've got 4 hours and we're not going to do super early on you. So you have plenty of time to get up, get your cup of coffee, get yourself ready. We did an Inspire Me on Facebook last Friday that gave a bunch more tips about doing the Black Friday sale. So I would encourage you to go back and watch that, but also we'll have some social media posts.
Facebook.
Yeah, that was on Facebook. We'll have some social media posts here tomorrow that will also run through, give you some tips and things about how to set yourself up for Black Friday success. The brick and mortar shop will be closed. You can either pick up, you select in-store pickup or shipping for your orders. If you select in-store pickup, we will be open the next day, Small Business Saturday, our usual hours, 11 to 5.
I encourage you to get out on Small Business Saturday, support the small businesses around Midlothian. It's always appreciated and it's always a big day for us. So come out and join us. We'll have Draw a Needle discount that day. We'll also have a store-wide giveaway that day that you can register to win and enter the drawing if you have a purchase of $50 or more. So we'd love to see you out here Saturday as well. We'll be out in force 11 to 5 on Saturday for all your shopping needs. So I guess that wish list shopping event.
And then one more thing, new this year.
We're so excited about this. On Friday, the Friday after
2nd.
Yeah, the Friday after Thanksgiving, or not Thanksgiving, but Black Friday, the next week, December 2nd. We are having an event. It's a shopping event. It is a wish list shopping event in the shop from 7 to 9 that evening. We have an RSV form in our newsletter. However, we'll
post it on social media too. Yeah. We'll put it at several places where you can find it. The whole reason
for that is we were going to have some refreshments and we just want to know how many to plan for, but it's not important, if you don't know right now and don't want to RSVP because you don't know. But anyway, you're going to come in, bring your knitting, bring your crochet, have a seat, enjoy each other's company. And while you're here, enjoy refreshments and then go over and fill out a wish list. Be specific about your wish list. You'll have people over there helping you as far as the important information to put down. And then you're going to list the people that you want us to contact about your wish list. We're going to contact them the day after. We're going to send them an invitation to come the following Friday, which is the 9th. And they're going to come from 7 to 9. We'll have elves in place here to have them pick out things on your wish list. We will wrap them in their
gift wrap
bag, pretty bag, be ready to go under the tree so that you can get what you want on Black Friday. So, so we're excited. This, like I said, this is the first time we've had an event like this. We're excited to host it. We can't wait to see all of those people eagerly filling out their wish lists. And then these people who have no clue what fiber or yarn or anything is coming in and going, oh my gosh, thank you for having it written down. Right. I know exactly what to get.
And there's one small caveat. We want you to come and enjoy us for these visits. Yeah. But if you're already watching this thinking, well, I have got something, we know December's busy. I've got something going on, or I know the people who shop for me have something going on and they can't. You can come into the shop at any point we're open and fill out the wish list, and your shoppers can come at any point and
Yeah.
and shop from the list. If you can't make the events, we understand, but we want to have these events because it will just
Yeah.
be fun, and it's
They're
a way
fun.
for us to have some evening hours too. We know people are working, and so it gives a little bit of a later in the evening opportunity.
Plus, I'll say it. I never tire of saying it. Our number one thing here is community,
Yes.
and trying to promote that community of fiber enthusiasts and just have fun together. And so this is a night that we could make an excuse to have fun together and just enjoy while we're filling out wish lists for our loved
Right.
ones to purchase things
so that
for us.
everything is very clear
Yeah.
and they know exactly what you want and can get you exactly what you want.
Yes, I know several people who in my family who would have appreciated that at certain
Yes.
times.
Oh, I'm sure.
So again, thanks for we look forward to seeing you at any of our events that we're having in this next month. Small Business Saturday or our event on next Friday, our shopping events, our wish list shopping events. So again, we are Dances with Wool. We are located in Richmond, Virginia, just right outside of Richmond, actually in the suburbs, Midlothian, Virginia. And you can find us on social media at Dances with Wool RVA. You can find us on our website at shop@danceswithwoolrva. Oh, that's our email, but danceswithwoolrva.com. Or you can email us at shop@danceswithwoolrva.com.
Everything will be linked.
Everything's linked down
in the
below.
description box
Yeah.
for you. And we've
Yeah.
got lots of stuff coming.
Mhm.
So Inspire
us on
Me's
Inspire
every
Me.
Friday
Mhm.
on Facebook at 10 a.m. We go live. And we're going to have, like I said, we'll do a special video as holiday gift guide. We have another podcast coming next month. We have the year-long Knit-along announcement.
Yeah.
This is a
so
busy
lots
time of
busy
year.
time. Oh, and December 2nd, we'll be telling you on Inspire Me all about our winter classes. So
Yes.
you will be giving you an in-depth preview of
Yes,
everything.
breakdown
coming up.
of everything to help
lots
you
of-
decide what classes to sign up for.
So lots of things coming up. But thanks for joining us today. It's always fun to get on here and talk about the things that we're doing and the things that we have in the shop. So until next time, have a great rest of your week and a great rest of your month. And happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to everybody who celebrates.
Take care.
And we will see you all on Friday,
Yeah.
8 to noon on the website.
On the website.
Black Friday 30% off. You don't want to miss
Be
it.
there.
Be there.
Bye-bye.
Okay.